Welcome back. There may come a time in your life when you're asking yourself if you're really happy with your current job. For many, they ponder the idea of getting a new job. But if you have not updated your resume in a few years, even 1 year, what do you need to know? Do you get a CV? Do you get a resume? Do you even put it on paper? Well, for more information, we turn now to Betsy Irizarry, and she has those details. Betsy, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You have your own business in helping people get out there. What do you do?
We are a boutique human resources and talent management organization, and we are really speaking with people about how they need to approach their new job search, because the past year alone, the way that people are going about looking for a job has changed dramatically.
Even in the last year?
Even in the last year. Social media, it has changed the entire landscape of recruitment for corporate America.
All right.
And people really need to understand how they need to now look at their job search.
Whether you're 45, 55, or 25, this is information our viewers need to know.
Very important. From baby boomers to now the millennials, everything has changed completely.
Okay.
And as we go through the economy that crashed and now is coming back, we have they predict like around 18% of the baby boomers are going to retire, which is going to create a big void for the corporate America. But then you have the millennials who are used to find jobs using their mobile devices and using Facebook and LinkedIn to find their jobs. So you have a big gap of how people are looking for jobs. And organizations right now are turning into social media to find their candidates. 94% of the corporate recruiters in America are using social media to find their candidates.
Facebook, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn is the #1 for professional searches. They have over 300 million members, and that is what corporate America is using to find their candidates.
And LinkedIn, is it free?
LinkedIn is free. If you want a premium subscription, then you pay extra, but right now just to put your profile is free. And what is interesting that even though 76% of the recruiters are using LinkedIn to get their candidates, 36% of the candidates are really getting into LinkedIn. So it's a big gap that corporate America is trying to reach out to the candidate pool and let them know that this is the new way for them to find jobs. When you go and speak with college students, you find out that they know about Facebook and they know about Twitter, but they were not so familiar with LinkedIn. So now we're changing that so that the students and universities understand the power of LinkedIn so that they can find a job.
So in other words, LinkedIn needs to get a Facebook page and they can reach all these young
Yeah, there's a big debate between Facebook and LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is really the source to find your next job.
Okay, and that's how employers are saving hundreds of thousands of dollars by just going straight to social media to find employees.
That is correct. Right now, if you find it's quicker, you can find candidates much quicker,
just like that,
faster, and also the way that you can communicate with them is faster because you're able to have that interaction in minutes, seconds, because everybody, what the first thing that they do when they get up, they're in the mobile device. They're looking at their Facebook is #1, and the second one is LinkedIn.
Okay.
So you have a big gap on how people, especially in the baby boomers, try now to find jobs. So people, no longer a resume via paper is really what is going to get you in front of a corporation. You need to have a LinkedIn page, you might have to have a professional Facebook page, you might need to have a Twitter account, and then you also need to ensure that you have a resume that you can upload in your own website so that people can get to you.
But so do have a paper resume. Of course, you're going to upload it, but it is important still that good old paper resume.
Absolutely, it's important. But what is changing is the way that you include the information in your resume. So no longer you can write a big paragraph of all your accomplishment, because your resume is going to be seen by a recruiter in about 5 minutes. They're going to be making a decision on you if they really should call you for an interview or not. So the way that you create your resume is critical and key of the words that you use, so that person say, this is a candidate that I really want to bring into my organization to explore the possibilities of employment.
That's why they need to come to HR Contempo, talk to people like you who are so on top of the latest. In 1 minute, can you explain the difference between a CV and a resume?
Yeah, well, I think what we call curriculum vitae is what, the old time where people have a kind of more like a storyline of what you're saying about yourself. With a resume, it's more bulletized, the company that you work for and what are your accomplishments. But now that even has changed, because the way that you have your resume is called more now a profile, where you really have to use keywords so people can find you through the internet. And that's what people don't understand. If you are, for example, an anchor, right, and your specialty is doing stories in healthcare, so you will say talented anchor women / healthcare.
Really?
Because when people are doing Google searches, that's how they're going to be looking for. 30% of the Google searches are conducted right now are on employment matters. That is 300 million searches a month are done for people looking for a job on the internet.
300
million a month doing searches for jobs. Yes.
That's a mind-blowing number.
Yes, it's very mind-boggling, but it happens. Just think about yourself, how many Google searches you do in a day.
Right.
Because you are investigating or you're searching for a story.
Sure, all the time.
It's the same. So when you have billions of organizations looking for talent, they're looking for Google searches, but they're looking for keywords on your resume that will bring up your name when they're doing.
Oh, you've got the inside scoop, Miss Betsy. Thank you so much for those details and tips and advice for those who are looking for a job. And good luck on your new business that you now own, HR Contempo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Well, stay with us. We're going to be right back to wrap up our show.